My boss fired me for being over budget, so I revoked the legacy license that saved him $100,000 a year. The severance package hit the desk with the wet thud of a dead fish. My manager, Simon, a man who unironically referred to himself as a capital allocator and wore loafers without socks, leaned back in his chair, checking his reflection in the glass wall of his office. It's purely math, David, Simon sighed, giving me a look that suggested I was a stain on his pristine P&L sheet. You're a cost center, a heavy one. I can hire 3 fresh grads for your salary. They're hungry. You're comfortable. We're pivoting to a lean structure. I'm letting you go. Effective immediately. Lean structure, I asked, picking up the check. Simon, I manage the entire proprietary database. The fresh grads you hired last week asked me how to turn on the printer. You think they can handle the legacy SQL migration? It's just data, Simon scoffed, waving a hand dismissively. It sits there. It doesn't need a babysitter. You tech guys always overcomplicate things to justify your bloated paychecks. I've already handed your access codes to the new team lead, Braden. He's a digital native. He'll figure it out by lunch. Now, hand over your badge. Security is waiting to ensure you don't steal any staplers. You gave my access to Braden, I asked, a dry, jagged laugh escaping my throat. The kid who tried to download more RAM yesterday. Get out, David, Simon snapped. And don't expect a reference. You're being terminated for budgetary incompatibility. I didn't argue. I didn't warn him. I handed over my badge with a smile that should have set off every alarm bell in his empty head. Good luck with the math, Simon, I said. I hope it adds up. I walked out of the building at 10 a.m. I didn't go home to sulk. I went to a high-end steakhouse, ordered a ribeye, and opened my personal laptop. Simon thought he was a genius for cutting my salary. He forgot to check the vendor contracts. Specifically, the contract for the core software platform the company used to track every single shipment. 10 years ago, when the company was a garage startup, I registered the software license under my personal account as a founder. It was a lifetime, unlimited seat license. Free, forever, as long as I was the admin. The current market rate for that software, $10,000 a month, per user. I took a bite of my steak and logged into the vendor portal. Account owner, David Vance. Status, active. Linked company, Simon's Logistics, ungrateful. Time to balance the budget, I whispered. I navigated to the licensing tab. I saw the company server connected via my API key. I clicked revoke access. Then, just to be petty, I clicked delete account. The chaos was instantaneous. At 1 p.m., my phone started vibrating across the white tablecloth. Simon calling. Simon calling. The CEO, Mr. Henderson, calling. I finished my steak. I ordered a creme brulee. Then, I answered Henderson. He sounded like he was broadcasting from inside a burning building. David, pick up. Henderson screamed. The screens went black. The database is gone. It just says, trial expired, in giant red letters. We can't process orders. The trucks are stuck at the gate. What did you do? I didn't do anything, sir, I said, cracking the caramelized sugar with my spoon. Crack. Simon fired me for being over budget. He said the data doesn't need a babysitter. I assumed he had a plan to pay for the commercial license. What commercial license? Henderson shrieked. We've never paid for a license. Exactly, I said, because I own the founder's license. It was personal property I let the company use out of the goodness of my heart. But since I'm no longer an employee, and Simon accused me of being a cost center, I removed my personal assets from the equation. You're now running on the free trial version, which limits you to, let me check, 5 entries a day. 5 entries, Henderson roared. We do 5,000 an hour. That's when the real bombshell dropped. David, turn it back on. Henderson begged. I'll fire Simon. I'll double your salary. I can't, I said. I deleted the account. The founder's status is gone. You have to sign up as a new enterprise client. How much is it? Current market rate, I said. About $120,000 a month for your user count, plus a $50,000 setup fee. Oh, and the migration takes 2 weeks. We'll be bankrupt in 2 days. Henderson wailed. Sounds like a budgetary incompatibility, I noted. Maybe Braden can code a new database. He's a digital native, right? I hung up. The company had to halt operations for 10 days while they negotiated a panic contract with the vendor. It cost them $250,000 just to get the lights back on. Simon was fired so aggressively that security threw his loafers into the parking lot after him. I'm currently consulting for their biggest competitor. They pay for their own licenses. Am I the villain for nuking the database, or did Simon miscalculate the cost of arrogance?